the bare ground?
No, I'm gonna try to like find some twigs and stuff to put between me and then those fern stuff.
Yep. Think mattress, right? Yeah. Think getting yourself off of the ground several inches. Because if you lay down on that cold wetness, it's gonna be bad. All right. With me? Mm-hmm. Focus on that. This looks like an okay spot, but I think you could do better. All right. This is pretty hilly. It's not very flat, which is not a deal breaker, but I think you could do better. Right. You've searched for about 5 minutes and found this spot. I think you could do better. All right. What I always typically try to do if I would be in a situation like this is look for something that already looks a little bit sheltery, right? Think like ridge pole, like a tree falling, something that's going to keep you out of the elements, wind, rain, etc. Mm-hmm. With me? Mm. All right, think it through. This is important. Don't rush it. Idea. What, out of curiosity, what was the one thing you grabbed out of your pack?
I've yet to grab something yet.
The one thing? Okay.
I'm thinking hard. I'm thinking real hard.
You haven't made your decision yet. I see. Okay.
So I found me a spot about halfway up the hill here. But I don't want to be all the way down to the very bottom because the cold air is going to settle to the bottom tonight. I have a Mylar blanket I carry in my pocket with me, so that should prove to be quite useful.
I don't think people understand the bulge of the pockets here. This is what Jason walks around with on a daily basis. Look at those pockets.
Mylar blanket.
If you were to weigh his pants, I bet you'd get 20 pounds, maybe more.
Maybe more.
I guess the biggest thing going through my head right now is how am I going to make fire? And I need to find some water that I can safely drink and not get sick 2 weeks from now when I'm trying to work and make money. So that's my two big things. Probably should have drank some water before I came on this trip. I just assumed I would have my water bottle, which filters it. Brand new bottle, not using it, but that's cool.
Totally fine. Not a waste of money at all. What's your one thing?
Was a cup.
Okay.
So we're going to collect some, and
that's a good choice.
It's going to be good. So
that's a good choice.
I'm not too worried.
Okay.
I already had a lighter in my pocket, so it should be good there.
Yep.
And I had these gloves in my pocket, which I did not put in there. They just happened to be in there, which is really cool. Really glad about that.
All right, so you grabbed your jacket, I see, and the cup.
Oh, jacket and the cup.
Yeah.
And
gotcha.
I was going to keep the jacket on because I figured something like this would happen, but I figured Jason would be nice enough to let me have a jacket since we're hiking up a hill. And seems likely most people would be shedding layers. So.
Yeah. But in real life, realistically, you wouldn't have a jacket. No. Yeah, you'd take that thing off, right?
That's true.
It just, you'd be that much more miserable.
That's true.
Anywho, carry on.
This is above my pay grade, but we are going to learn. I'm normally camping out of a car with everything you need out of a car.
Nervous about being cold? What's the deal?
Well, I'm not really nervous. I'm more excited. It's more of an excitement than anything. Mm-hmm. I'm curious, since I've never done it before. Past experiences, I'm very fast to throw in the towel for whatever reason.
I don't see a towel was not one of the options that you had in your pack.
It was not. So I left that at home for a reason. We're going to learn today. You know what I mean?
You think you got it in you?
I do, yeah. I feel like I can do it. Deep down, there's a little bit of nervousness, but there's more excitement than anything. The test is something, it's not like a written test where you study for it. You either do it or you can't do it, and you're fixing to find out. And from what I've learned from this group is you got to do it to learn it. So the only way you'll get comfortable is by doing the things versus watching a YouTube video. That's only half the battle. You know what I mean?
So Elijah, what are we doing? What's your thought process here?
We're doing I've been doing this lean-to first because it's a natural lean-to. These vines are already so strong though because I use my body weight, and second because it's flat ground, and I like that because I'm not rolling downhill like I was the other time, and I could lean this way and sleep with the fire right here. Also, I like this place because there's a lot of tinder and stuff I can make fires with, and yeah, I'm doing right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're in for a real treat. It's a K in his native habitat.
Right. So I've marked this as my potential site.
Yeah.
Number one, I took my little marker panel out of my wallet kit, stuck it here so I don't lose it. Took off layers to thermoregulate because I'm starting to sweat a bit. I've cut down some pines on this road with my wire saw. I'm going to bring them down, but first I'm going to look to make doubly sure this is what I actually want. But I'm just following this game trail out here. I'm wanting to go more of a Siri type of route.
Super sneaky.
Yeah,
So Al, what is what's your number one priority right now?
I'm going to finish looking to make sure this is indeed the site I want. I'm going to do my due diligence there. I've already got material down. And then once I've chosen the site, I'm going to drag all the materials here and then begin my build. I'm not worried about a fire. I'm trying to go no fire. I'm going to go the stealth route. So I'm down below the crest of this hill, and I've got all this stuff around me like the hemlock, the rhododendron, all this breaks up, you know, where I'm at. So I'm out of the wind, but I'm also not down in the low spot where all the cold air is going to settle. And once I get inside here and build a mattress, the wind will just go over the top of me. I'm not planning a fire. I'm just going to make basically a sneaky shelter, a hide site basically. And the only line of drift here is this deer trail, but not an issue. It's probably going to get down to the 20s tonight. I don't know about wind speed. Possible precip. I don't think we'll get much, but who knows, it could snow. I mean, you never know what the mountain's going to throw at you. So yeah, I like to try something different. You know, every time I do a shelter, I try to do a different mental scenario. In this scenario, it's all about low signature, no fire. I mean, of course I could build one, but I don't like a fire dependent shelter necessarily. But there's some standing dead back in there if I do want a fire that's big enough that I could get a fire going and it would burn for a while. It's always on the table if I need it to purify water or to prevent hypothermia, then yeah. But other than those two things, I wouldn't have a need for it. Mm-hmm. And I generally sleep fairly hot. Got a base layer, and then I've got a second base layer, this merino wool. Then I got a fleece and a Gore-Tex shell, you know. I don't have face masks, gloves, any of that. But I'm gonna go pretty strong on my mattress. That'll take care of the conduction. Convection won't be a problem because of my location. I'm not going to be in that cold sink down in the valley, but I'm also not going to be exposed to the high winds up on the ridge line. So it's kind of a happy medium, and it's a reasonable distance to water, but it's also not so close that if I wanted to be here, I would hear people coming and going long before they would see me. So I'm just brushing up on my stealth camping, basically. That's what my mission is. Because of the way I'm going to make my mattress with sticks, if we get heavy precip and it does run down through here, two things I could do is a small diversion ditch, just using a stick or a rock or my boot heel to kind of turn a lot of the water away from me. And the nature of that mattress I'm going to make is going to allow water to percolate under and through it. So I don't think it'll be an issue. You know, the more I look around here, there's enough things that are dead and down, and there's some standing dead, larger pieces if we needed that for construction or a fire. You know, the only possible thing is I am kind of in a trail here, but most likely the things based on what I'm seeing that have been on this trail are deer and turkey. And you know, there's always the chance of a bear encounter, but I don't see any really obvious sign of that. So I think we may go for it.
Take a look at what I just found. It's my micro mylar blanket. See if I get it down without tearing it up too much. Yes. That's awesome. I'm gonna be sporting this later on. You'll see. I got plans for this.
And then I'm gonna have the fire to my left or right side. So that's the plan. And then this is just the foundation. I'm gonna have leaves on top, and then I'm gonna have maybe some type of ball or some type of limb to make a nice mattress out of on top. Some nice flex in there, some cushion. So other than that, and then if I get frisky, I may even find a log and then make like a lean-to over it, maybe. Who knows? We'll figure that out. But right now, I just want a nice, comfy spot to lay down.
Is potentially not having something over you a calculated risk, or?
It's just, I'm not depending on it. So.
What happens if it was to pour down rain tonight? What would happen?
I would get wet.
And then what?
I would probably die.
You look like an angel right now with the sun behind you.
Yeah, whatever.
Beautiful. Like a squirrel.
Yeah, like a squirrel. Just hack it away.
Is a squirrel your spirit animal?
No.
So Nicholas up here, he lucked out and found a lean-to shelter partially constructed from a couple years back that's still standing. Guess that means we're
Good builders.
We're good good builders. So we were camped out here 2 years ago. When we did this, we built all this shelter with no tools at all. We stayed for 2 nights with nothing except clothes on our backs. And just over here, right there, kind of where that dead tree is leaning, a bear came right up there.
Oh, wow.
I was sitting right here in the lean-to with Jason, and I saw that bear come right over the hill, his head poked up right there. And I went, "Hey, bear!" And I didn't turn the camera on like an idiot.
Oh,
my instinctual reaction was to scare it off.
Yeah. I'll make sure.
And I should have been like, "No, camera. Hey, bear!" Yeah,
Definitely.
that would have been better.
Definitely.
I'm such an idiot. I found this. It's my Mylar blanket. What do you think?
I love it.
I'm gonna split that open and use it for a blanket.
That's great.
That's his
That's what
shelter.
I was thinking. I was like, that's Mylar.
Yeah, yeah. The inside of that thing is gonna be reflective.
Yeah, it is.
Or I can use it as a container to carry water or something. I can do whatever I want.
Right.
How are things coming?
Going good. Just
Show me what you've done.
well, just constructing this shelter. That's basically it. Starting to kind of get some of this out. Great. I just begun collecting some sticks for some firewood, so we're gonna build that up, collect a bunch more, build this shelter up.
What exactly, like precisely, are you going to do with the shelter? What's your plan?
Well, I'd like
You say
to
build
fill in
it
a
up.
few
What's that
more-
mean?
I'd like to fill in a few more of these gaps with sticks.
Yeah.
And then get some smaller ones and start filling it in. Then maybe get some leafy stuff to put on the outside of it. It's kind of the plan, but I don't know. I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Have you tested the structural integrity of this thing?
Not at all.
So
But I'm pretty hard, so if
so-
it falls on me, I'm not too worried.
it'll be like a blanket.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it feels sturdy to me. I think we're gonna be fine.
What's the
Listen,
worst?
I've had worse stuff than this fall on me, so I'm not too worried. We're gonna be good. That's the least of my concerns, to be honest with you.
Sure, you've got all kinds of good stories of things falling.
Oh yeah. This will be fine. Yeah, like hypothermia,
Those are real
sleep
concerns.
deprivation,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff is
Real concerns.
Or the real, stick falling on
Roof falling on you, no big deal. It'd fall on you in the middle of the night, and just go back to sleep.
It's a little warmer now.
That's right.
Perfect.
That's it.
All right.
Nick, have you ever done anything like this before?
No, first time. I mean, I've camped my whole life, tent camp and everything else. But I've always had a tent and easy way to make fire and, you know, enough clothes to be semi-comfortable.
Sleeping bags probably in the
Sleeping
wintertime.
bags, yeah. Always had a sleeping bag. So never camped in the middle of the woods without a sleeping bag.
Because that'd be stupid.
Yeah, who does that? What am I doing here?
Guys, we are so dumb.
I could be riding my new 590.
I know, who does stuff like this? We must be idiots.
I love the pain.
Learn something every trip. This is what I learned last trip. And I'm pretty sure this is the correct stuff, so. Tulip poplar. This is gonna be my tinder for the fire. Pretty sure that's what it is. He can confirm that, but it looks just like it. We're gonna try to burn it anyhow.
Well, honestly, I mean, it doesn't matter what it is, right? Does it burn or does it not burn? Does it start a fire?
We're gonna try burning it.
Yeah, it is tulip poplar though.
All right.
Yeah. I brought you a present.
Oh boy. Yes. I should cherish this. Thank you, sir.
That's for your birthday. You're welcome.
A little early, but okay. All right.
Basically, my plan for this weekend is to wander from camp to camp, pretty much consistently, constantly checking in on everybody and getting updates. And I am going to care for myself as minimally as possible. I'm gonna, probably right before dark, I'm gonna gather a whole bunch of firewood and just sit by the fire tonight. And if I do any type of shelter, it'll be very, very minimal.
What's a tiny thing like you dig in a place like this, love?
Just wondering if you're gonna make room for the two of us in there to snuggle.
Oh, I'll make, there's always room.
I'll make room.
Who am I to stand in the way of love? I'm all about it.
Alan has gone Cro-Magnon man and resorted to the hand axe.
This is how I roll on any given day. I thought you knew that about me. It's quieter to dig with this, you know, than a shovel, which I don't have. Before I even build the mattress, I'm just making a good level place. And I want my head slightly higher than my feet. And I'm gonna pack this opening full of leaves so there's no breeze.
Say that one more time. No. Come on.
But that's what, you know, that's how when I was on alone, I had that same mentality of like, I'm behind the lines and I have to survive here. And I gotta be chill, you know. So I chose everything based on that. When you get in that mindset, it makes you behave differently.
Well, it worked, I guess.
Yeah.
Proof's in the pudding.
Yep.
Proof's in the limpets.
Yeah, if we had limpets here, man, we would be sick. You know, people try to build what looks like a cabin, and I always try to build a coffin, you know, or a sleeping bag kind of thing, especially in cold climates. Keep it small. Once you start behaving this way, you notice I'm in a deer trail. So the deer aren't stupid, right? So if you just become them in your mind, you'll see more things in the woods. WWDD, what would deer do? You know?
I think that could sell.
Yeah, we can sell that.
Just put it on Etsy.
Yeah, what is Etsy? I don't know what
It's
that
like a
is.
crafty website you buy things like homemade, like, I don't know, signs and
That's what America's known for, useless junk.
yeah. Guys are spread out approximately, I would say, 300 yards from the furthest guy. The guy on my right to the guy on my left is approximately 300 yards apart. And it's not flat ground, and I'm getting a bit sweaty, which in this kind of scenario would not be that uncommon. I'm hiking, probably going to be sweaty. So maybe that's something that we can learn from, maybe suffer from. How are we doing, squirrel?
We're doing good.
Got a really nice midden mound here.
Yeah, I need some more runners, but finding some whippy stuff in this part of the world is kind of tough right now.
How you feeling about your camp selection spot?
I'm liking it still.
Yeah.
I mean, because I'm kind of protected out of the wind, and that's, to me, is going to be what's going to suck. Like up on top of the mountain here, that wind will change tonight.
Yeah.
And if you set up one direction thinking, oh, well, you know, the wind's blowing this way, I'm good. And then tonight the wind swaps directions, it's going to suck and blow straight down.
I'm building the roof structure now. Just putting up the main braces.
To be up here burrowing into the fucking hill.
Yes. All you lads will be standing outside in line waiting to spoon, and you're freezing your asses off later. Besides, we may have incoming mortar rounds. You don't know.
Hey, man.
You don't know?
I got a kill scrape, man.
You gonna put a grenade on it?
Oh, you know I am. Yeah. You know I am. You ain't gonna ask me crazy shit now. Like you don't know me. You know.
I like your digging stick, lad.
Yeah, I started with a rock, but then I had to get radical. I don't want to use all my time up on shelter. But I have found through experience that if you rush in the early stages, you regret it at 3 a.m.
Yep.
You wish you'd taken the extra pains, you know?
It's always that way.
Isn't it?
Would you say that you're going to build an insulatory mattress down here?
Insulatory is not a word. According to Wikipedia, what you meant to say was displaced persons. Wearing layers of dead airspace. Yeah, starting to feel like home. Oh yeah, lovely. I'll just take this high spot out here and I'm cooking.
I like how we've been in the woods for like an hour and you're completely filthy.
I know.
So my original spot was to set up right here underneath this big downed oak tree. But I can just feel the cold air kind of settling down here. This is not the bottom, it goes significantly further downhill, but this kind of just valley is collecting a lot of that cool air. So I've selected a spot uphill from here just a little bit, still close to all of my firewood supply, because this tree is going to be what I'm going to be burning, and I'm going to set up really close to that to save some energy, because maybe with exception of building a shelter, collecting the firewood is going to be the biggest caloric expenditure. So this, I think, is going to be my new spot. It's drier up here from the sunshine drying everything out. It's reasonably flat right here, and I needed to build a shelter. I don't know if I'll have time for that today because I'm running around to everybody else's camp, but I'll at least make myself a mattress underneath, and maybe tomorrow I can work on a shelter.
Yeah, I haven't decided what I'm going to do for the top yet, but I have the good fortune to have a Gore-Tex jacket with a hood, and I mean, unless it's just torrential rains, you know, not a big deal. But I bring my trees to camp and then break them down into poles and smaller pieces, and they're just right here. It's more economical, you know, motion wise. I try to have a finished shelter day one check, because you think about what kills me first. Hypothermia. I found the spring, I cleaned it out, I've had a drink. Hydration, check. I'll go down and do more later. Fill this canteen first, you know.
Well,
then,
your only canteen.
Yeah, well, I have a billy pot.
Oh yeah.
That's my personal survival kit that I haven't tapped into and probably won't. But I just wanted to, I've been evaluating it, so I brought it along for this exercise. Because cold weather, I tend to kind of ramp up my EDC a little bit, as we all should. I really wish Josiah had come.
Yeah.
He would have got a kick out of this, but maybe we'll do it one day, just me and him. And
Yeah.
it'll be more.
We can take both our boys. That'd be good.
Let's do a father-son. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Because we need to transmit that knowledge.
Yep.
I mean, that's legit stuff that a kid needs to know. Because if you can come out into the woods with basically a knife and the clothes on your back and not die, that's a skill set that a lot of people don't have these days.
How's it looking so far? Or how's it feeling so far?
So far, good.
Yeah.
Taking a break.
Think you're gonna be warm enough in there?
Yeah.
You gonna start a fire here? I like it.
Let's use that metal thing down there. See if I can make like a fireplace out of it.
Oh, sweet. A jug? Yeah. It's been down there a long time.
Yeah.
I like what you're doing.
Cool, cool, cool.
You feeling confident?
Yeah.
Good. Awesome.
Might need a drink.
Yeah. Did you find a water source yet? Huh?
I haven't looked yet.
Yeah. That's the beauty of where we live. It's never too far away. Oh, I see what's happening here. That is looking fine. Look at that shelter. He's collecting his tinder or his kindling. He's got 2 walls on his shelter. Look at that, a little Mylar blanket up on the roof. So, he decided to rig up the poncho, which was a very nice, good choice. Yeah. If you could only pick one thing out of your bag, that's a good choice.
Indeed.
You got a heck of a mattress. That's nice.
Yeah, I was like, go big or go home.
And the fire's already ripping.
Yep.
That feels pretty good.
Feels really good in here.
Yeah, you're looking good, man. I think you're gonna be just fine.
I still got a Mylar blanket in my pocket.
Good job.
Did the ridge give way?
Oh yeah, it gave way.
It is a couple years old.
And I was sitting there like, oh God, because I was almost done with it. But now it's built back.
You fixed it.
It looks great.
You got some debris on there, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I like it.
I'm gonna get some water, make a bed, get some more firewood, and hopefully it'll be all right by then.
Are you checking people, tell them to hydrate?
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah. At least it's not getting windy.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's not going to get cold tonight, so that's nice.
Mm-mm.
I mean, at least I'm on the top of the ridge and
Yeah.
In the wind.
in the wind.
There is that.
In the wind.
Should be fine.
Okay.
Just drag you all kinds of shit in there to get into.
Yeah, you got a nice little spot. It'd be good.
Yeah.
Get a fire going probably. I think we'll be all right.
Yeah, if you put a fire right out here,
That's the plan.
it'll catch it right in there with you.
I like your style, Nick.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
I like
Appreciate it, boys.
I like the reinforced ridge here.
Well, I decided to I bounced up and down on it this time.
So you had that in your pockets?
I did.
Nice.
Yeah, believe it or not.
Got a boy.
Learn
So
from you.
just so
You took it.
Just so dang proud of you right now.
You said you carried some last time we did this.
I did. I do tip. I used to carry paracord, but now I've smalled it down a bit, miniaturized it to this bank line. Yeah, that's what this is. It's just smaller,
It's stronger.
and I get more of it, and it's pretty strong. Strong enough to do pretty much everything. I think this is 150. Yeah.
What's paracord?
It doesn't stretch.
Yeah, 550. Yep. Because if you're dehydrated, you'll get cold. Seems counterintuitive that you drink cold water to stay warm, but I don't recommend doing it right before you lay down to go to bed, but you do want to stay hydrated. So my focus is shifting. I've got somewhat of a shelter done. It's not much at all. I've got basically a mattress. Mattress is pretty decent, but no really overhead cover. It does not look like it's gonna rain, so I'm gonna risk it and shift my priorities into firewood and just get a whole giant big heap of it, and hopefully it will last through the night. I've got a good pile of firewood here. I've got my mattress that's nice and springy. I think it's gonna keep me at least a little bit warmer, keep me up off of the cold ground. And then I've got some long firewood here that I'll just be slowly feeding into the fire at night. I'm not gonna start my fire until it's pretty much dark because I just don't want to waste any firewood. A lot of people get in a hurry to start the fire, and there's just really no need for it until you need it. So I'll start right before dark, and then just keep it going all night and stay warm by it, hopefully. At least that's my plan. I'll go check in with the other guys real quick one more last time, and then probably call it a day. The sun's getting pretty low. It's going to be going below the horizon here, I would say, in the next hour for sure. And everybody will be getting settled in. See how it goes.
Get me a little cover and conceal material. This seems to be the fastest place to get it.
Yeah.
And the sun is against us.
Yes, it is. It's getting cold already. You can feel it.
Yeah, it's dropping.
As soon as the sun, it's not even below the horizon. It's still quite a ways, but the temperature has just dropped significantly.
Right? That'll be a proper little bit of leaves, eh?
It has really transformed.
Right?
Everybody.
I'm just doing a little bit for cover and conceal. And then, you always improve your position. You wake up day 2, and then you just keep doing more to it.
Yep.
And if I were just going to stay one night, I'd just build a fire and lay next to it.
Just lay
Do
it
a
right down.
mattress.
Yeah. That's pretty much what I've got going on tonight.
Yeah.
I've got a mattress, and that's it, pretty much, and a fire. Tomorrow, I'll put a roof on it.
Yeah.
This looks good. So this is, tell me about the sheet you had in your pocket.
That's the SOL.
SOL, has it got Mylar on one side?
Yeah. Green on the other.
Yeah.
And I figure, you know, I mean, you can pile leaves and eventually they will get to where they're waterproof, and just
Yeah, they kind
one
of
of the-
mat together. You even got like a little runway strip here. This is nice.
that's where I'm gonna crawl in.
I like
And
it.
then I'll cover that disturbed dirt with leaves. And
very-
that hemlock is fake. I put it there.
Yeah.
I'll actually pull it when I get in. I'll put it right in front of the hole.
This guy? Yeah. So you planted that there just to conceal the entrance to your burrow.
Yeah, kind of break up the outline of the door.
Yeah, so yeah, that dark hole is kind of the only thing that
And I'll fix
would
that
stand
too,
out.
Given enough time and resources. Takes enough time and resources.
Yeah, you would never see this unless you're right on it. Shine a flashlight in there.
You can put my ruck. I just put it there so it don't get rained on.
Yeah, we know you're not a cheater. We're good. That looks great. It looks super cozy. And if you plug this hole, I would imagine your body heat would do a pretty decent job of warming that up, right?
It does.
Looks good, man. Super sneaky.
Yeah, thermal wouldn't see nothing in there.
Mm-mm.
They'd fly over you, walk past you, patrol past you. Right?
I like it.
So when the Chinese come, we're ready.
Not if, but when.
Not if, but when. You know, another thing too, with the gray hair, you can take there's a lot of things that have tannic acid in it in nature. You just wash in that and it'll blacken.
Natural
and
hair
brown
dye?
it up and camo your
Just some
hair. 'Cause
some walnut husks.
yeah, that's one of them. Yeah, walnut husk is a good dye.
There we go. Battery died. And just as I was lighting the fire, I just used the lighter that I always carry in my pocket. Just a regular old Bic lighter, nothing fancy about it, and that's what I always have on me because they always work until they run out of fluid. But I'm pretty careful about that. Every day that I put that lighter in my pocket, I give it a shake to make sure it's still got fluid. But even with that said, I just make sure, because fire this time of year is going to be pretty important to me unless I'm building a really, really robust, thick shelter. Having this ferro rod here this backup ferro rod is something that I think if I'm going to head into the woods, it's not something I'm willing to compromise on. Could I live without it? Could I do a friction fire? Yeah, but just like building a natural shelter, it takes so long, so much effort, and it's not nearly as reliable as just the modern methods, so why not carry it? But this is my gonna be my evening. The fire feels good. I was wearing just a t-shirt up until just now. I just put this vest on, and I was starting to get chilled. I was starting to shiver a little bit, and this fire feels awesome. My fingers are a little bit cold, a little bit numb, mostly from touching the camera and touching the tripod and things like that. But I've got enough firewood here, I think, stashed up between this pile here that's nearly the size of me, and then these long ones I've got running up here that I can feed throughout the night. And as long as I do it sparingly and I don't get carried away, I think that I'm gonna be okay. And if we run out of firewood, shame on me. But I think that we'll be okay. The one good thing, these gloves or these little thin Gorilla gloves are something that I keep in my pocket all the time. And the one good thing, I think maybe the only good thing that's come from the coronavirus, is these buffs, these deals here. I've taken to keeping one of these in the same pocket as these gloves. And when it's cold out, it's pretty nice actually to cover your face up, cover your ears up with it a little bit more. And it kind of warms that air that's coming into your lungs. But yeah, it's a nice little thing to have. It's thin, but it does seem to help quite a bit. So I have almost no shelter other than my clothing. I've got my camera gear here in my pack, but that's pretty much all the pack's used for, and the first aid kit's in there. And I've got my coat. Because without that, it would be pretty cold. I mean, I could sleep next to the fire with just the t-shirt on and not die, but man, That would be very unpleasant. And then there's always exercise. You could get up and do squats and push-ups and stuff until you warm back up. But who wants to do that in the middle of the night? That sucks too. I've done that before, and that's pretty unpleasant. It is going to get cold tonight. It's going to get really cold. Just pray it doesn't rain. That would suck. But I do have a garbage bag. I didn't take a single item. I gave the guys the opportunity to take an extra piece of clothing and a single item out of their packs. And I have not used anything in my pack other than the camera stuff, obviously. I did take the coat. I am going to be wearing that coat, but if it was to rain, I might dip into that garbage bag that I've got in my pack and just kind of get inside of it a little bit and wrap it around me, drape it over me, just sit here by the fire, keep the fire going unless it rains really hard. That'd be a pain in the butt. I've had to do that before too, but that requires constant maintenance to keep a fire going in rain. Alan has built a really awesome shelter, super sneaky hide shelter that you wouldn't even know is there unless you're standing on top of it, essentially. And it's pretty insulated, and he's really got it stacked on there, piled up well, and it's dug down deep. He's got a Mylar blanket in there, I believe, that's going to reflect some of his body heat back down to him, but he's not doing fire, he's not doing anything. He's only got he's dressed similar to me. He's got a long sleeve shirt. No, actually he's got well, I don't know what he's wearing, to be honest with you. I think he's got a couple of layers, like t-shirts, a wicking layer, like long john, kind of long underwear kind of thing, and then a long sleeve merino wool t-shirt, I think a fleece, and a raincoat, and that's it. I would freeze. I know I would. He keeps a little bit warmer than I do, I guess, or he's tougher. One of the two. Or both. I'm gonna go ahead and put an extra layer on. And then I need to get my boots off and dry my socks out. And that's the struggle with the rubber boots like this, is that they don't let any of the moisture, the sweat from your feet out. So in the evenings I kind of have a ritual. I take my boots off, I set them by the fire, and then I let my socks get completely dry before I put my boots back on, if I put them on at all. But tonight I probably will, just because it's gonna be pretty cold. So I'll just let those warm up by the fire. Maybe I'll do one boot at a time so I can prop my foot up there. So if you'd like to know what it's like to do this, basically you stoke up a fire, it feels nice and warm, and you fall asleep. And then you wake up cold and the fire's out. So you stoke up the fire and it gets warm, and you fall asleep. Then you wake up cold. You do that pretty much all night until the sun comes up. pretty great. It's pretty great. Good morning. We didn't die. I don't know what time it is, but probably about 7 a.m. I didn't run out of firewood, which is nice. Not a lot of sleep, but enough. We'll see how the rest of the guys did here in a minute. Trying to warm up. It is cold down here in this bottom. Much warmer up where I was. Morning. How'd it go?
Good.
What you working on?
Building a little seat.
A seat? Nice. Did you get cold?
Huh?
Did you get cold?
Oh yeah. I didn't make the bedding thick enough.
Yeah.
It's like this thin, so.
Gonna remedy that today?
Oh yeah. And I was collecting wood this morning because I ran out of all of my big wood.
Yeah.
I would like wake up, start the fire, and then go back to sleep.
Yeah.
I actually fell asleep. I was like sitting right here. I was sitting on this thing right here.
Yeah.
I was looking like that. I just like fell asleep. Like
Perfect.
like probably the longest I slept all night last night.
Did you tear your Mylar blanket up?
Oh yeah. The sticks on the inside
Yeah.
tore it, and then it just went from there.
That's the way it goes sometimes.
Yeah.
Did you bust into your blankets?
No, but I brushed my teeth.
Brush your teeth?
Yeah.
Stuff about this size, like
Yeah, that's
that
what I was
is the
doing.
biggest, and this kind of stuff. Just a great big pile, maybe double what you have here.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have a whole bunch of long logs that I don't even break up, and I just feed them. I keep sticking them in.
Yeah, that's what I was doing.
Don't even have to cut them up or anything. But you need this stuff to keep it going, because if you let it go out, the big stuff's hard to catch back up sometimes. But yeah, if you got a big pile of this, half a dozen or so big logs that are still long, like 10 feet long or more, that'll last most of the night.
Yeah,
If
I'm
not all
definitely
night.
gonna get firewood today.
Yeah.
A lot more than I did yesterday.
Yep. Your shelter's pretty good. Like I said, you work on your mattress, get that dialed in.
And I need to work on this.
And if it does rain, I can see daylight through the other side over there. So that's something you might want to consider. But if you can get that Mylar blanket stuck back up there where it's going to actually work. Or just drape it on the outside.
It's like tore.
Yeah.
Like tore.
If it's salvageable, which I'm sure some of it is,
Yeah.
drape it on the outside over where you'll be laying down. And that will keep the rain off you at least. Because we got one more night of this.
Yeah. And then wherever we're going to eat.
And then food. That's right. Stoke the fire, I'm cold.
Yeah,
How you doing?
exactly as expected.
Cold?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Open this up.
I see that. Little pocket sized Mylar blanket.
Yeah. Noisy, pain in the butt.
But
Adds about 2.5 degrees to your body.
2.5. So not significant. But better than nothing.
It sure does reflect the heat back nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Not a bad choice.
Yeah.
A better choice would have been if the guy had been carrying a gat whenever Yogi took off with his backpack, cap him, eat the bear.
Eat the bear. Wrap in his hide. That would have been a good choice.
Overall, my upper body never really seriously got cold. It was waist down was the problem. Mostly the feet.
Your feet got cold?
Yeah, I dried my socks out probably 4 times last night.
Yeah. I had to do the same thing. Well, I did it right before I went to bed, and then I did it again this morning. I just took my boots off and warmed up my feet.
I did good. I mean, I'd be lying if I said I didn't get cold, but you know, I kept the fire going all night and was okay. So
Reasonably okay. How'd your bed sleep?
bed I need to make some adjustments to.
It looks a little bit skimpy on the brows.
Yeah, I need some more brows. They
Yeah.
they I don't really know where they went, but they're not there. Maybe
You got yourself a brew?
Tempur-Pedic tea.
Tempur-Pedic tea.
Yeah. So I heat water up and then I use my bedding for my tea. Tempur-Pedic tea.
It's perfect. That's good. I like that a lot.
Oh, that's where my bedding went.
Ah,
In this cup.
I drank a lot of tea. How'd you do last night?
Good.
Sleep good?
Yeah, my toes got a little cold at the end, but other than that, I was good.
No issues?
I woke up one time and had to like just ventilate. I was actually getting warm in there.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Good morning, sir.
What is
How
up?
did you sleep?
Like a baby.
I would say so.
You couldn't hear him?
Yeah.
I thought you and Mr. Jason were making owl noises last night.
That was a great horned owl.
That was a bunch of them.
Now.
Yeah. Yeah, it was right next to me over there, man.
I
They're
mean,
beautiful.
I thought it was you because I was like coming from your direction. It'd go like every 3 minutes.
I'm
Same
not that
sound.
good at making owl sounds. Especially a great horned owl. I can't mimic them. They're beautiful though.
Just freshening up my mattress a little bit. I noticed that I'm really only sleeping on this one side of it, closest to the fire. So not a whole lot of need for material on that far side. So I'll just use it all right here where I'm gonna be. Freshen it up. Get it nice and bouncy and lofty again. Let's see. Yeah, that's good. And now I'm gonna actually, I think I'm gonna have to build a shelter tonight. I checked the weather report before we came out and it was chance of snow and rain. So having no shelter above me is gonna be not wise, I don't think. So I'm just gonna do a pretty simple little lean-to structure right here. And I'm gonna wall in this front side here where my head is, and get myself at least a little bit more protected. I'm gonna make it as small as I possibly can, where I can just get in this little hole and hide from the weather. Have a fire here in front of me. I want to move my fire this direction a little bit. But yeah, I want to make this thing as small as I can to use as little resources as possible. And hopefully I can actually create a small little microclimate in here and trap a little bit of the heat from the fire, reflect it back towards me if I do it well enough. So let's get started. Less chatty, more worky. camp is pretty much set up for the evening. I've got most of my firewood. I'm going to get a bit more. It just started to snow, so we'll see how that goes. I'm hoping that my balloon here is going to reflect some heat from the fire back down on me, specifically my feet, because that's what got the coldest last night. But we shall see. I like creating my shelters like this, kind of half of a cone, basically, because it gives you more room on the inside, on that back side, for your gear or you or whatever, and it protects you on the ends as well. So this wraparound kind of design protects you on the head side and the feet, and it still allows all the heat from the fire to enter the shelter. So as long as you have a fire, it should be good. All right, snow's coming down now, so that'll be an interesting evening. Hopefully we don't get too wet from drips from melting snow for my fire, but we'll see, won't we? Oh, like a dummy. Didn't put my tinder in the dry. All right, let's get this fire going before everything gets too wet. That is bright. Still got a couple hours till daylight. I haven't shivered all night long, but I've been pretty uncomfortably cold. The fire is nice, but if I can keep it going, it's been pretty tough. I gotta keep blowing on it and stoking it. And then it gets hot enough and it melts the snow and the trees overhead, and the snow falls and puts the fire out. So that's fun. Looks like we've got, maybe an inch of snow so far, something like that. It's still snowing. Shelter's working pretty good so far. Not too wet or anything. I mean, it's dripping obviously, but it's not watertight. But it's a whole heck of a lot better than just laying out in the open. Is democracy manifest?
How'd you sleep?
Terrible.
I slept like a baby.
Did you? Yeah, I mean, you're in a cave.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, you've got 2 to 3 inches of snow on top of it. That's a good insulator right there. Chris is snoozing. I just got some footage.
If you want to spoon for a minute, you can.
That sounds cozy. That sounds.
I noticed you paused.
But wait a second. Big spoon or little spoon?
You were thinking of that. Yeah, when I dropped that other sheet down over the door,
Yeah.
dude,
That did it all.
that was it.
It's cozy in there.
Yeah. I didn't even feel like last night. I heard the breeze like really pick up,
Yeah.
and I could not feel so much as a cricket fart in here, man. It was just like it was so calm.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Is it pitch black in there?
Oh no, I've got a little illume
Yeah.
enough to know that it's daylight, but that's barely it.
Yeah. I love it.
You don't want to seal it too tight because you'll asphyxiate.
And there's that.
Yeah. Asphyxiation sucks.
Everybody knows that.
It's antithetical to survival.
It's like, it's almost the opposite. Almost.
How'd you sleep, bro?
I didn't sleep that great last night. I was just too much on my mind.
Were you able to keep the fire rolling?
Oh yeah. It was a struggle when the snow started coming down hard.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid of for you guys. I was in here thinking, man, like I hope it's not blowing into the lean-to.
Yeah, it did.
Oh god.
You know, not the whole time, but
Did you get the jackhammer shivered?
no, I never shivered at all.
Well, good.
Yeah. I mean, I was uncomfortable, but not
Yeah.
not dangerously
Yeah.
cold.
Cool, man.
I'm colder right now than I was all night.
Yeah, I'm probably about to pop out of here in a minute.
It's slightly collapsing this morning.
I see that. Your shelter's a bit saggy. Let me get a shot of you in there. Where are you?
Oh,
Where's your head? Hold on. I'm coming around. There you are.
Just a wee bit wet in here this morning.
Say good morning.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, yeah.
It is soaking in here.
Yeah, the condensation.
Yeah.
Just from breathing, probably.
Yeah, that, and I think it probably leaked through some too.
Yeah, you got a lot of snow on it.
Yeah, there's a lot of snow on it.
I think we got close to 3 inches.
Did we really? Yeah, we did, didn't we?
Yeah. It's beautiful. My fire was struggling last night.
Oh, I bet it was.
The snow it would get hot and then it would melt the snow
Yeah.
and the snow would fall on it, put it out.
Put it out.
It was a great time. I enjoyed that.
And a wonderful time with that dog.
Yeah. Morning. How'd you do last night, buddy?
Better than the night before.
Better than the night before. Okay, good.
Got a lot more sleep.
I fared much worse last night than the night before. Even without the shelter. The shelter helped, obviously, because of the snow, but I did not sleep good.
Alternative. Exit.
That's one way to get out. So this doesn't happen down in your neck of the woods?
No. That's putting it mildly.
Yeah. Well, good morning. It's beautiful, isn't it?
That's a personal
Yeah?
perspective. No, it's really nice out here.
Oh, man, I think it's something about it, you know? First thing this morning. It's looking good, man. You look cozy in that bag.
Super warm. I had to shed a layer in the middle of the night.
That's all. You shed a layer. You son of a gun. I would have gladly taken that layer.
My bivvy from 1944 held up.
That's good. It's a classic. So what did we learn, Matt?
Everything. No,
What would you do different?
my shelter.
Shelter be better next
better.
time?
I'd focus all on my shelter versus everything else.
So what if you didn't have this bag as a backup?
I would be screwed up big time.
You'd be real miserable.
Yeah, that'd be the easy side of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do we need to work on to make that not be so?
More insulation.
As
more-
far as clothing?
No, I'm talking about the shelter.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
What about your clothing?
My clothing's fine.
If you had to sleep in just your clothing, if you had a better shelter, you'd been all right?
If I had a better shelter, I'd been fine, yeah.
Okay. I love it.
Yeah, I learned a lot.
Yeah. That's good, man.
Yeah. I'm actually starting to sweat.
Shut up, you jerk. Man, it's hot in here. What did you have? Let's say we didn't have backups and you and the bear took your pack, right? What did you have in your pockets? What would you have to work with? Did you have a way to start a fire?
Yeah.
You had that on you?
Yeah. I had a lighter on me.
Okay. So you had a Bic lighter probably?
Yeah. I had
And you have a knife?
Yeah.
A knife on you? Anything else?
my handgun,
So you have a gun, a knife,
lighter,
and a lighter.
and some chapstick.
And some chapstick. Nothing else?
Nothing else.
Okay. So would you change that? Yeah.
Yeah, big time.
Okay. What would be if you had to pick one thing to add to your pockets if you came into a situation like this again, the unknown? What would you put in there?
Probably a cup.
Yeah.
Something to contain some metal cup of some kind.
So get some hot water.
Yeah.
Drinking some hot beverage.
Even if it's just hot water,
Yeah.
it'd be awesome.
Yeah, drinking just hot water or a pine needle tea or something.
Not having to stick my face in the creek.
Oh yeah, that would be the business right there.
Yeah. That's what I would pick
I'm
next
craving a
time.
hot beverage right now.
Yeah.
We're about to get it.
Oh, I know.
You excited?
Yeah.
It's been about 48 hours since we've eaten, probably. It has been for me.
My snack. I had a snack. To get the skills, whatever.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I did.
Chris hooked us up with some. He had a baggie full of freeze-dried Skittles that none of us had ever tried before. And yesterday, it probably because we've been deprived of calories, but man, they were amazing. I had maybe half a dozen of them, and they were so good. Yeah. Freeze-dried Skittles. If you've never had that, give it a go. I'm proud of you, buddy. I mean, you did great.
Yeah, I literally went to sleep. I was like, you know what? I'm not even gonna try to do the fire. It just keeps me up. So
yeah, but this is the first time you've had to do this, right? I mean, you've camped with me before with minimal gear, but you've always camped with me, right? In summertime, warmer temperatures, right? Yeah. This is by far the coldest.
Somewhere in my lean-to is my lighter.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
All right, boys. Up and at 'em. I'm gonna go track down the rest of them. Nice work, man. I'm pumped for you. You nailed it. There's a lot of grown men that would cry their way out of here in the middle of the night after something like that. And I didn't hear a single complaint out of this kid the whole time. That's the most impressive part. Isn't this great?
Yeah, wonderful.
Oh, man.
If you've got rubber boots, it is.
Couldn't ask for better weather.
Couldn't ask for a better meal that's about to come.
Oh, how excited are you?
Very.
I'm not sure if it's the coffee or the food. I'm more
The hot cup of coffee, I am super pumped
about
about.
everything. The heat in the car, the Waffle House,
Yeah.
the coffee.
How'd you guys do last night?
did good.
You're pretty good.
Obviously, I didn't use a fire much, so
Oh, yeah.
I'll let you deduce the rest.
Did you
of that.
let it go out?
Yeah.
It's tough to keep it going, wasn't it?
Well, more than that, by that time I was like, that's all I could do to keep stuff warm. So
Yeah.
I had to get some stuff thawed out.
I was excited to see the sun come up.
Oh yeah. As soon as it, well, I was up at like 6 o'clock, and I was like, come on, son.
Yeah.
As soon as it came out, I was like, all right.
Yeah.
I'll go see Jason here in a minute.
This is gonna be awesome. Yeah, I was doing the same thing, man. I was praying for daylight, like the Rascal Flatts song, you know.
Yep.
Yeah.
I got to rehydrate severely.
Yeah. Yeah, I think everybody hasn't drank enough just because it's been cold. I think that's a big issue that we probably need to pay more attention to, is staying hydrated even when it's cold and you don't feel like drinking cold water. But you have to, otherwise you get colder, and that's, you know, you just have to force yourself to drink water.
Like when I got up, I was
Eat snow.
dizzy, couldn't stand on my feet.
I ate some
Yeah.
snow last night.
Yeah, and also they say don't eat snow, right? Have you ever heard that?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Eating snow is a bad idea if you're stationary and like just sitting and not doing anything because
It's too cold.
it'll chill you, man. But really,
Well, I heated mine up.
yeah, honestly though, the spring water that we've been drinking is not much.
No, it's probably 35 degrees.
It's really cold.
Yeah.
It's warmer than the snow though.
Yeah.
So, but if you're hiking and stuff and you're moving,
Oh yeah.
eat the snow. Yeah, go for it. I've done that lots of times. What did we learn, Jason?
Don't leave home without your backpack. And don't let the bear take it.
Shoot the bear.
Shoot the bear, eat the bear, it's crawl inside his skin.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, what did I learn? That's what I was saying up there. I made a little video. I was like, man, just bring a backpack.
No, I remember when I was in the swamp and I had to keep the fire going for 30 days.
Yep.
For the whole month. Firewood was by far the worst chore. It sucked so much. You had to and after not eating for so long, you just bending over to pick up a stick. You're like, ugh, like, no, I just screw it, you know? But if you don't get that, you're going to freeze. So there's that.